after getting some feedback from my subscribers, I decided to change how the way I do my recaps videos. People are more interested in how the way I feel about the show instead of giving the play-by-play of what's going on. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get into it. We're going to be talking about Chasing Reality show called The Retreat. So I want to talk about my first impressions of the cast members. First up, Reese G, aka Shaunie O'Neal. For those of you who don't know who Reese G is, he is the executive producer, creator, and cast member of Chasing Dallas on the Chasing Reality platform. This show is a spin-off show from Chasing Dallas. He had a lot of issues with some of the cast members from Chasing Dallas. It was nice to see that in between filming both shows, that Reese was able to repair his relationship with Ariel, Trey Howard, and Dior. I feel that he came into this retreat with a positive attitude, and I don't feel any negative vibes from him. However, the friendships between Trey Howard and Dior is in their infancy. It's going to be interesting to watch how their relationship develops on this show. Dre Summer. Child. Let me tell you, when I see the trailer of this season for The Retreat and I seen that Dre Summer was going to be a cast member, there was a few things that came to my mind. You can catch these hands. Windmilled. It's above me, but not above my hands. All my life, I've been waiting to throw these hands. It's like, child, it's going to be some drama. That's the vibe that he gives me. Eric James, I just have one question. Who's Rich Carlton? Does anybody know? Okay, I thought so. I didn't get that much from Eric this episode. However, there is a lot of drama pertaining to Eric James online. But from what I saw this first episode, the energy that I got from you was that you are probably a little shady. But we'll see as the season goes on. Ariel O'Hara. I mean, what is there not to like about Ariel? I like her. Even though Ariel can read you down, I feel like she is the most level-headed of the group because she knows how to remain neutral regardless of who you are. She gives everybody a chance. I like her transparency, and I feel like overall she's a good person. Trey Howard. I'm actually happy to see Trey Howard as a regular cast member of The Retreat because I felt like he brought a lot to the table during his time of Chasing Dallas. So I'm glad that production made him a regular cast member of the show because I feel like he's worthy of it. He is young, talented, and fiery. Dior. He reminds me of somebody who means a lot to me. I value and respect and love and impacted my life in a positive way. So when it comes to Dior, I am probably a little biased. I'm excited to see him this season because I feel like he has so much to offer. And every time I see Dior, I see my friend. So let's get into this episode. And Dre Summer and Reese pulled up to the house. And the first thing that Dre Summer says, the house reminded him of, I know what you did last summer. I'm like, child, here you go with this bad juju already. Y'all ain't even stepped foot in the house yet. You're comparing it to a horror movie already. We got a chance to see how Reese was able to repair his relationships with some of the cast members. The most powerful scene of this episode is when Ariel invited Reese G and Dior to a Black Lives Matter event so they can talk out their issues. It was nice to see that it was an inclusive Black Lives Matter event. Reese G and Dior decides to put whatever past issues that they had before behind them and try to work on getting to know each other. So that was great. All the cast members show up to the house and they decide to play a game. Dre Summer, who was taking a nap when all the rest of the cast members showed up to the house. So when he gets up and he decides to join the cast members, Dre Summer in his confessional said as soon as he saw the cast members, he said, oh, the help is here. Dre Summer, why are you calling the other cast members the help? Dre Summer, let me remind you, besides Eric, everybody in that room is already a part of the Chasing Reality franchise. you're just getting on board. You can't come in new and saying, oh, there's the help. I was over it when he said that Ariel was a maid, Dior was a hairdresser, and that Trey Howard was a stylist that wasn't on the stylist. That comment about Trey Howard, though, was a tad bit funny, but it is too early in the game for you to be throwing this much shade. I knew from the beginning of the game that it was going to go down in flames, and sure enough, it did. Even though Dre Sunberg feels that Ariel was being shady when she called him Summer, I don't think that it was on purpose. I think that she honestly thought that was his name. I don't think there was no ill intent behind it. I just think that she thought that his name was Summer. Trey Howard, it seemed a little shady when you got up in the middle of Dre Sunberg saying his two truths and one lie. It did come across that you were shading him. So when he said that he liked everybody in the room and that was a lie, you can't get offended by that, because it seemed that you were just being messy. You seemed shady, and he responded by being shady back by that response. Trey Howard wanted to know why he was saying that he ain't like him. Dre Sunberg said, well, you had the problem with me before I came here because you were talking about me during one of my live videos that I was doing. I hollered when Trey Howard said, since you are from different, multiple hundred more shows, you should know how it feels to be a cast member. Dre Sunberg did an interview with my favorite former cast member of Chasing Atlanta, Sky, bashing Trey Howard. I actually partially agree with what Dre Sunberg was saying in his defense. Dre Sunberg said that he was a fan of the show and he was just voicing his opinion about Trey Howard just like any other fan would. And so he doesn't feel that he did anything wrong. I agree with that statement because we are fans of the show. We do watch the show and we give our own commentary on the show. So Dre Sunberg is not wrong with saying that he was just giving his honest opinion. Here is where I actually have to draw the line. You can commentate, you can talk as a fan, you can give your opinion as a fan, you can say whatever you want as a fan. But once you cross that line of going from fan to cast member, everything that you ever said about that person is fair game. That's where Dre Sunberg loses me, because you can't come on the show thinking, since you are a new cast member, everything that you ever said about this person online is not going to affect your relationship without having a conversation. I could understand where both parties were coming from. Dre Sunberg, regardless if you are a fan of the show or part of the cast, you can still say what you want. However, please understand that there's going to be a day where you're going to see these people. You're going to have to film with them. So everything that you said about them is fair game. That's just how it is. You can't get mad and say, well, I was a fan and I had every right to say that. Well, if you stayed a fan, it wouldn't be a problem. And the reason why you're good for the show is because you had some online banter with the cast members, which makes for good TV. I think that you're made for television, Dre Sunberg, but you can't use the excuse of I was a fan, so that's why I said what I said. You lost that privilege once you became a cast member. I'm just saying. Anyway, after Dre Sunberg explained to Trey Howard why he said what he said, Trey Howard read him to filth. I mean, he drugged him to the very pits of Hades. All right, you guys, thank you for watching my latest recap on the new reality series, The Retreat. Hopefully, I'll see you next week. Ciao.